Welcome to O People of the Book YouTube channel.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله.
Oh, people of the Book YouTube channel.
نبرات شعري سطرت لمداد حبري والقلم نبرات شعري سطرت لمداد حبري والقلم نبرات شعري سطرت لمداد حبري والقلم هيا قصائد سائلي قلب النوى ليس الشبم هيا قصائد سائلي قلب النوى ليس الشبم
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulullah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to our people of the book. Welcome to our Saturday show. For me, the weekend is over and back to work tomorrow. Game over. For you, some of you are entering the weekend, and I hope you've had you have a nice weekend. Welcome back to the usual Saturday from polygyny, from monogamy to polygyny. And like I keep reminding you, that it's not just polygyny that we are talking about here, because a lot of things that we're going through is reminder to, like, turn back to Allah and all that stuff, so it's a building of iman as well. And for those who are entering into polygyny, want to learn about it, want to know, it's something that is in the Quran, something that the Prophet ﷺ has done. The Sahaba. I was surprised the other day. I was reading an article. I was searching for the Seerah of Ali ibn Abi Talib. It wasn't an article, it was in a book, yeah. And I found out that he was married 14 times. Ali ibn Abi Talib, 14 times. Can you imagine? Now, if it's 14 times, but it doesn't mean married one and then, no. Maybe 3 at a time, 4 at a time, or whatever. The other one died, the other one got married. You remember, he was the last caliph, yeah. So he had a longer life than the rest of them. So the time that his wife died, Fatima radiallahu anha, the time that she died, he married several women at the same time. So it was surprising. I thought, 14 wives he had, of course, it had to be 4 up to 4 at one time. So things like this, I mean, we need to know, we need to learn, and this is part of our deen. And at the moment, at the same time, we're learning about how people handle it, how So it's not just monogamy or monogamy myth, actually, because monogamy has been a myth all the time. The people who are in monogamy, they're always cheating. They're always not handling it properly. So monogamy has always been a myth. Yeah. Now, please subscribe, like, and share. We're broadcasting on O People of the Book channel. Plus, we are broadcasting on Consider This TV. Consider This TV network is a network of channels. There's several channels on there, and we have brother Muslim apologist, who's from Malaysia. We have Brother Muhammad Abu Shaib, who's from Coventry Faith Foundation. We have Brother Abu Ziyad, Abu Zaid, sorry, Abu Zaid, who's actually from the US. We've got Brother Asad, and we have other brothers as well. I'm on there as well. So when you go into Consider This TV network, give us all, just go crazy, give us all a like and share and whatever. And please, on my channel as well, please click on that bell so you can be notified whenever I have new shows. Remember, on the Friday afternoon, for those who are available. For me, it's after Jum'ah. For you, it might be before Jum'ah, or maybe you can watch it afterwards as well. We're doing the tafsir of Surah of Juz Amma. We're doing tafsir of Juz Amma. At the moment, we've reached Surah Naba. We've reached Surah Naba. We started with Surah Fatiha, and then we went through the methodology of the Prophet Sallallahu Dawah, which is called Iqra Kum Kum. We went to that. Maybe you can learn that and everything. Now we've reached halfway through Surah Naba. Yes, so remember the Fridays as well. So I've got Saturday night. You got them a date with me on Saturday night, and you got Friday afternoons. Yeah, so remember that. Okay, so let us proceed. We are doing the book. We're doing the book From Monogamy to Polygyny, and we're going through the letters of Aisha. Aisha is a sister who's in polygyny, and her husband, recently took another wife, and we had Layla before, who actually, tried to handle it all on her own. But Aisha decided to reach out to people, to reach out to her friends and everything, to get advice. And this is what I'm saying to you. It's not just about polygyny that we're talking of. We're talking about Iman, because the sisters advise her to turn to Allah and everything, and not to do things that will jeopardize her Iman, not to do things that will jeopardize her marriage and everything. See, so it's, you're learning something different as well. And at the same time, you may not be in a polygamous situation. You don't know what happens in the future. You might have a friend who's in the polygamous situation, and you're having a conversation with them. Yeah, and the conversation you have, at least you've got some intellect. You've got some, I was watching a show, and the brother is saying this, the brother is saying that, and whatever, and they will tell you, yes, this is that, or this is that, whatever. So it's always good to know, and especially if it is part of our deen. Yeah. So anyway, we reached page 218. Yeah, the bottom page. These are the letters that Aisha has sent to her friends, and they're answering her back. Okay, they're answering her back, and she's replying to them. Now we reach page 218, the bottom, the last letter. Assalamu alaikum, Aisha. We have to remember that after some years, love changes between people, but we can still recatch those moments we had many years ago if we work on them. It's not easy to take words. It's not easy, and it takes work, and yes, they may be destroyed again by something one of the partners does, but this is life. No one is perfect, and inshallah we will learn and grow from these mistakes. Obviously, you still love him deep down inside. Dig around for that love and work on it. Let your pride go. See, this is advice that the sister is giving now, and she's asking her Islamically, to learn from the mistakes, and also dig into that love of hers, and work on it, and let the pride that we have inside us, the ego that we have inside us, to let it go. Yeah. One thing I need to do every time, because when I move my mic, sometimes there's no sound. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yes. It's sound is what happens is sometimes I move my mic to different corners or whatever, and it unplugs. I don't know whether you've noticed, but I've moved the position of my mic. It used to be this side before. Now I've moved it to this side so that I can see the screen fully on this side now. So that's why it's better sometimes that I recheck and double check my mic and everything. Yeah. So anyway, now the sister's giving her advice that she can. That she should, let go of the ego, let the pride go. Make him a nice dinner, or go out to dinner. Make a small picnic. Write him a letter. Plan something special for for the two of you. Try. I know you must love him, or you wouldn't have cared to even ask sisters for advice. See how intelligent this is now. If that sister reached a point where she didn't care, I don't think she'd be asking sisters for advice. She wouldn't be asking sisters what to do, what not to do, and this sister is asking her in order to bring her marriage back in place again. The sister is asking, why don't you organize a nice dinner? Why don't you organize a picnic? Why don't you write him a love letter, basically, to bring back that spice in the wedding, see, in the marriage. So we see how, if you have good friends, Prophet ﷺ says, choose your companions. And if you choose your companions, they will be the one advising you on the right thing, rather than choose companions who will go put the corruption in your mind. Now, this sister is bringing her back to romantic again, write him a nice letter, make a nice dinner for him or something, or whatever, I know you must. Yeah, that's another good point. I know you must love him, or you wouldn't have cared to even ask your sisters for advice. Like I said in the beginning, if she didn't care, she would have said, "Khali wali," don't care about him. Alas, don't need him. A relation takes work. Any relation, even friendship. Work on it and talk to him. Remind him of how how it used to be. Make your marriage solid also, so you will be happy. Okay, your marriage was a happy marriage. You had a nice time before. Remind him of that. Work on it. And also, I don't want to kind of use words that is, but as a woman, dress in a nice underwear for him, appeal to him, call him to yourself, call him to, you as a woman would know what to do. Yeah, you'd know what to do to bring back that spice in your marriage. Okay, make your marriage solid also, so you will be happy. Make a lot of dua to this work and ask, and for this to work, and ask Allah to give you patience and strength in everything. I'm working on it myself. In this way, I'm finding that it is working, alhamdulillah. So what's happening is, right now the sister's working on it, and she's giving that advice to another sister, saying, I'm working on it, and I know it works. That's why I'm giving out that advice to you. Sorry, sometimes I kind of sink into the chair and weekend is finishing anyway. So there you go. Yeah, so your sister, Ibrahim. So Ibrahim is working on it now. Yeah, and she's kind of giving advice on. So she's in polygyny, and she's giving advice to Aisha. Right. So Aisha answers back now to all the sisters. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, sisters. Every once in a while, the bad memories come back into my head and causes me problems. I keep saying to myself, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, over and over, and then thoughts go away. But I feel like my marriage is still messed up. I feel as if there is no happiness left. No love, no trust, no compassion, not much of anything. Oh, today, not such a good day. La ilaha illallah. Okay, so she's kind of like going through these phases, this mood kind of thing. Today it's okay. Next day, now she feels that her marriage is all messed up and not working, not happiness or whatever. So it happens. These things happen. Okay. Let me go. Let me get this man out of my head. Okay, I'm going to be dead soon anyway. None of it matters, right? Aisha. See, she still has these doubts. She still has these doubts. Is lingering this shaitan whispering in her ears. Let's see the replies now. Okay, Sister Ibrahim, the one who just spoke to her earlier on, we'll see what she says. Assalamu alaikum, Aisha. I'm sorry, sister, for what you're going through, but inshallah, with times, things will get easier. Keep yourself busy and talk with good friends when in need of advice. See what I've been telling you. Yeah? Talk with good friends. Don't go and talk to friends who will get you to do things that you shouldn't do. Talk with good friends who have your well-being in heart. Yeah. So talk to them. Keep making dua and ask Allah for help in your situation. Make dua and ask Allah's help in any situation. Any situation you're in, turn to Allah. In one of my lessons, we were learning, I think it's hadith class, or was it, I think it was hadith class, or etiquette of talib ilm, of student of knowledge. You don't turn to Allah only in the bad times. You turn to Allah in good times as well. When you turn to Allah in good times, you turn to Allah in hope. In good times now. You're in good times and hope, And when you turn to Allah in bad times, especially if you're doing anything wrong, then you turn to Allah in fear. You turn to Allah with in fear, please forgive me, Ya Allah. I've done something wrong or whatever. Please forgive me. But when you're turning to Allah, always turn to Allah in good as well. Be grateful to Allah. The first thing that we are taught in the Quran, the first chapter, the first words of it, Alhamdulillah. Yeah, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So when we enter the Quran, the first thing is Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So we're grateful. The first thing you're taught is to be grateful to Allah. Okay. Then the other things come in, the Tawheed, whatever come in. But first, gratitude to Allah, gratitude for the goodness that He's given us. Okay, so make dua to Allah for help in your situation, and like I'm saying, in any situation. Your sister, Ibrahim. Okay, Salamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, Sister Aisha. It takes time, sister. You might not realize it, but your heart is broken. You might not know it, but you still feel as if your husband has betrayed you. You also probably feel as if there is no way you're going to open yourself to love him again with the same passion, because that will open up to hurt, right? All in all, your feelings towards him are still very negative. Yeah, we saw her letter there, how her feelings towards her husband is still very negative. And like we said before, we have to take that negativity out of the hearts. Bismillah. Okay, so you have to take that negativity out of the heart. Okay, they may be hidden, but they resurface and rekindle. Another thing is that you have to face some more realities. There is more to acceptance than just a simple decree. You are in the baby stages, and it will take time. It will take a little bit more time to advance on. The sooner you really take to heart that this, inshallah, will become the fact of your life, and you can do nothing to change it, the sooner you will begin to let go of holding on to him in that kuffar way. Now that is interesting, because you have to wake up and smell the coffee. Okay, wake up and smell the coffee. That this is the fact now. You cannot change things. and you cannot change things. And the thing is, there are things in life that is decreed by Allah, and there's nothing we can do about it, unless, like I said, you choose the bad way. You choose to get out of the marriage. You choose to break up the family or whatever. But if you want to stay in the halal, then there's nothing you can do about it. You cannot change in him. You cannot change him. The sooner you will begin to let go of holding him in that kuffar way. The kuffar way is like he belongs to you alone. Yeah, he belongs to you alone, and not thinking that he can die one day, not thinking that Allah can take him anytime. Okay, so you and your husband are the marriage, but you're broken right now. You need to take time and mend yourself completely so that you can take the time to mend your marriage. Okay? Kisses, hugs, and passion will not mend your marriage now. It will be like a band aid. There needs to be new understanding, new feelings, new bridges, new respect, especially you are starting over from a hurricane. You have to rebuild everything. Everything. Divorce is not the answer now. See, we keep saying that the sisters are advising her, divorce is not the answer now and later as well. It wouldn't be the answer, yeah, because obviously that's going to wreck the marriage and everything. Yeah, it's a cop out, the easy way out of this mess. You need to turn to Allah more than anything else. You need tahajjud as your psyche session, to pray, cry, and to hold to Allah, to request more understanding, strength to mend your heart, and to replace the love to replace the love to increase you in your iman. This is and will be a struggle from the start to the end. Time and patience will be tested to the fullest. See how the sister's giving her advice about patience and everything, turning to Allah, tahajjud, very, very important, waking up in the middle of the night, and even if you have difficulty sleeping, I have to remind myself of this now, yeah. Even if you have the difficulty sleeping, and you just wake up for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, do 2 rakats, 4 rakats, 6 rakats, or whatever, go back to sleep again. Yeah? No need to wake up all night. Yeah? So yeah, hang in there. You are rebuilding your marriage, your understanding. That takes time. I love you for the sake of Allah, and I tell you, no lie, it's going to take time. Inshallah, with Allah's help, it can be done. With love, Sumaya. Okay, my final letter. Okay, now the final letter that the sister writes to the other sisters. Assalamu alaikum, sisters. All of the tests and trials in life that people go through, polygyny, I've realized it is not all severe. I mean, compared to losing a child, living in a war-torn country, subhanallah, polygyny is not all that. See, now the sister starts to understand now. If you lose a child, how difficult it is. I mean, just imagine living in Palestine right now. Living in Palestine right now, and bombs flying overhead. Living in Lebanon, living in Ukraine. That is so tough, so hard. Yeah. But it's not as hard as polygyny. Even the sister, what's her name, acknowledges that now. She's realized that now. Okay, I guess I'm realizing how blessed I am to have a husband. That's very, very important, because many sisters don't even have a husband. Half a husband is better than nothing. Okay, to have a husband now, she's grateful. She's grateful to Allah. She's blessed that she has a husband who takes care of me, even if I'm not the only one who is taking care of. Now she's beginning to understand the realities of polygyny, whereby he's taking care of her and he's taking care of another sister as well. And there's nothing she can do about that. But she feels now that she's grateful for that she's blessed blessed for that. Yeah. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed her with that, because many sisters don't have a husband. They have to do it all on their own. There are sisters who are widowed. There are sisters who are divorced. And it's hard for them. Yeah. Although they might tell you, no, I can manage, I do everything by myself, I cater for my child by myself or whatever. But in reality, no, that's not the truth. The things that we take for granted, like running water, a roof over our head, food on the table, a lot of people in this world don't have. Now she's realizing that now. You see, a lot of people in this world don't have. A lot of sisters in this world don't have a husband, don't have a roof over their head, a proper roof over their head, with the rent paid. They don't have to worry at the end of the month. The rent is paid, for food in their fridges, like the internet, if what's the name, is paid as well. Running water and stuff like that, where the husband is taking care of them. None, many sisters don't have that. And here I've been complaining about my husband taking a second wife. I feel very spoiled. So hurrah, she's actually cracked it now. She's actually cracked it. So halas, she's got it now. Yeah. Alhamdulillah, this trial has definitely put life in perspective for me. I have to strive to please Allah in everything that I do. I can't forget that. It's just like the sister said, Jannah is our goal. Okay, so she's realized it now. Now she ends up she ends up now being grateful, being happy, and thinking of others. Before she was thinking of herself. Everything was her, me, myself, and I. I'm suffering this, I'm suffering that, he's that, everything was her, was based around her. Now she's thinking, oh, I'm grateful. Others don't have that, But one thing that sisters need to realize, there are many sisters out there who are sleeping alone at night, who don't have a husband, who don't have a husband to sit down and talk to, or a husband to look after them, to take them shopping, or pay their rent or something, they don't have that. You have it. Yeah. So you are kind of are not happy that your husband can give the same to another woman. But yet, look at this woman now, after so long, how she feels blessed. She's got it, and another woman's got it as well. Yeah, very good advice from this. With love, for the sake of Allah, to all of you. Epilogue. Okay, so we're finishing these letters now. We're moving to the last part of the book. So her letters finish here. It has been 3 years now since my husband remarried. I've grown as a person tremendously as a result of my experience. And amazingly enough, I have to show that I am glad that I went through it. Sometimes when we are experiencing hardship in our lives, we fail to see Allah's wisdom and mercy in the hardship. That's very important, because when Allah puts test on us, He doesn't put test on us for nothing. He tests us also because there's a good coming from there. There's good coming from that test, and also to test us to see, how we can handle it. One, and secondly, the reward that we get at the end of it if we succeed, and also it gives us that experience to see others around us who've been through that test, or even those who haven't. And it's so sometimes when we're experiencing hardship in our life, we fail to see Allah's wisdom. We need to know Allah's wisdom. Allah is all wise, and we need to know that. And mercy in hardships. We become consumed with the hardship itself. It may be years later that we come to see that what we thought was hardship was actually a great benefit for us. That's how I feel about my experience with polygyny. I learned a great lesson from it, and that is that no matter how difficult things get, we need to put our trust in Allah and depend on Him wholeheartedly to bring us through, to give us what is best for us. The thing is, we often don't know what's best for us. Our limited minds can't see past can't see what is in front of us. The reality is, though, that Allah knows what's best for us, and truly depending on Him is essential. Yeah, we've been kind of reminding ourselves in this book and in other sessions as well how important it is to turn to Allah, how important it is to put our trust in Allah, and the sisters, all of them have been mentioning that the trust in Allah, to put to hope, and to turn to Him all the time. Putting my complete trust in Allah with all my affairs have brought a great peace in my heart. Whether it is polygyny or other than that, whatever Allah has in store for me, I trust that it is good. My heart is content with that. You see, gratefulness, one. Okay, gratitude. Secondly, knowing that Allah knows best. We say all the time, Allahu alam, Allahu alam, Allahi, Allahu alam, Allahu alam. But the thing is, well, the Allahu alam that we use, it's lip service only. It's lip service because we use it, but not realizing that yes, Allah knows best. Allah knows everything. For all the knowledge that is there is from Allah, and He knows it all. Yeah. So we have to realize that and put that in our heart. That whatever happens, Allah knows best, and be content with that. Be content and trust in Allah. Yeah. Okay. My view on polygamy now is like this. On polygyny, sorry. It just is what it is. Sometimes Allah has made some things, that Allah has made allowable. You see how she reasons now. She reasons according to the Quran and Sunnah, something that Allah has made allowable. Okay, it is what it is. Allah has made that. Something that Allah has made allowable. I truly believe, since Allah has made it allowable, it must be good for us. And there's something in our nature as women that enables us to appreciate living in polygamy. I keep reminding the sisters that the polygamy was made for you, okay, for the sisters. Okay, Allah allowed it for the sisters, and also there must be good in there. There must have been something good in there for Allah to make it allowable, because otherwise we'll be questioning Allah's wisdom. We'll be questioning Allah's knowledge if we were to be against what Allah has decreed. And the verse of the Quran: if Allah and His Prophet has decreed something, who are we to have an opinion on this? So it's clear. Yeah. Now she's beginning to wake up and smell the coffee. She's beginning to wake up now, and her views of polygyny have changed. Okay, and she agrees that there is something in her nature, your nature as women, that enables you to appreciate living in polygyny. So sisters, I'm not an advocate as pushing every sister to go in polygyny or whatever, and but what I'm trying to do is trying to help you to understand it. As a student of knowledge, it's my duty to share what I know, what I learned, and everything. And I hope that it's beneficial for you. I hope it's beneficial for you to learn. And like I said, you might not be in a polygynous situation. You might know friends who are in there. You might be looking into it. You might be studying it. And also, it's not just about polygyny. Yeah, what we've learned in this book so far: return to Allah, turn to Allah, wake up and pray tahajjud, have trust. So it's not just an issue of polygyny that we're talking about. Okay, Alhamdulillah, I simply don't let things bother me anymore the way they used to. And that is liberating. My marriage is way better now than it has ever been. I love my husband, but I recognize that I cannot allow that love to cause me to disobey Allah. Very important. We've spoken about this before, that the love that you have for husband or wife, don't let that get in the way for you to disobey Allah. Okay? It has to be within the framework of loving Allah. Okay, it certainly is essential to our faith to love Allah more than anything else, and that love should prevent us from falling into sins. I've read a few books from other scholars from in this series pertaining to the love of Allah, pertaining to the love of Allah, and like how important it is to love Allah and everything, and to love Allah more than anything else. First, you love Allah, then you love the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then, if you're married, your husband, your father, your mother, whatever. Yeah. But first, to love Allah, and she's recognized that now. To love Allah more than anything else, and that love should prevent us falling into sin. Okay. However difficult the hardships may be, always, always Allah helps us, helps the believers and intend good for them. Indeed, Allah has His plans. Okay, so now we're moving into a new realm, a new part of the book now, which is called personal reflections. Yeah, and I hope so far you've benefited from it, as the letters and everything that this sister's been back and forth and that, and I hope it has been a good reminder for you, because for me as well, I'm learning at the same time, and at the same time it's a good reminder for me, reminders of things, me as a man, what are my responsibilities, what I will be questioned by Allah for, and everything, so there's so many things that I learned through this as well. So we've reached page 224 from the book From Polygyny to Monogamy to Polygyny. Okay, and remember that you're watching our people of the book, and please give us a subscribe, like, and share. And also, we're broadcasting on Consider This TV network, which has several channels on there. And just go in and just give us all a like, subscribe, and like. Okay, now we'll go through personal reflections. We've got about maybe 15 minutes to go, and in these 15 minutes, let's see how much we can go through. Okay, experiences. It says from the heart, experiences and reflections of Muslim women. Okay, this is the subtitle for this. Personal reflections. Polygyny affects all Muslim women in one way or another. It is an ever-present issue that must be dealt with, whether we like it or not. Different women, however, deal with it in different ways, from denial to avoidance to acceptance. Those women who have been able to come to terms with it, with polygyny, have had to find a strength that enables them to appreciate its allowability and find satisfaction in it. So you have different cases of polygyny for different women, and different women have handled it in different ways, from denial to avoidance to acceptance. And those who've accepted it have found that, they've gained strength and they've gained strength to enable them to appreciate it, to appreciate that Allah has made it something allowable, and they found satisfaction from it. What are compiled here are the reflections on polygyny by such women around the world, their feelings, their emotions, and their personal journeys, their reflections. Oh, this is going to be interesting as well, because now we're not talking about letters, but we're talking about women who are in polygyny, their experience and everything. I kind of like this book. I don't know. I don't know how much you've gained from it. I don't know how much you've benefited. But it's gone through quite a bit. In the beginning, there was a lot of the fiqh of the fiqh of the polygyny and everything, and what to do, the patience, the love, what not to do, what not to break up your marriage and stuff like that. That was in the beginning. Then we had the experiences and everything of two sisters and everything. Now we're going through the personal reflections. Okay. The Garden of Peace. Adriel, how are you, man? I've got a colleague here. Walaikum, Adriel. Yeah, I'm glad to see that you're one of my fans. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. Yeah. So anyway, welcome to my show about polygyny. If you're thinking about polygyny, well, this will be good for you. But like I mentioned, it's not only people who are thinking of polygyny, but when you hear people talk about it, you want to know what it is. You want to know what it entails. You want to know, like what it deals with. And we've been through these letters and everything of sisters who actually went through polygyny. Now we're going to go through the experience. We're going to go through the experience of sisters and their personal reflection. One of them says, the Guardian of Peace is called. When I first came to Islam, I was positive and absolutely sure I would never wish for my husband to take a second wife. This is something that is very common. I've spoken to a lot of sisters before, and even at present, that seems to lurk in their mind a lot. This thing of polygyny seems to lurk in their mind a lot, and it's something that they're worried about in case their husband takes another wife and stuff like that. Who would have thought that a few short years later I would have come to grips with this issue in my life? This is the reason why a show like this helps you out, because years down the line, down the line, if you fall into this situation, or if even you're thinking of going into this situation, you've already had a bit of a briefing from me. I'm not a scholar. I'm just a student of Islamic knowledge, and what I have, I can part with my knowledge to you. I've even got one of my colleagues, Adriel, who's actually watching me right now, which makes me happy actually, because I know that there people out there who are watching me. Yeah. So this sister now, who's a revert to Islam, says, when I first came to Islam, I was positive and absolutely sure I would never have wished for my husband to take a second wife. Who would have thought that just a few short years later, I would have come to grips with the issue in my life? I haven't become anti-monogamy, of course. I've quite enjoyed it for almost 5 years. What inspires me first and foremost is fear of Allah, and fear of how much I love my husband, and strangely enough, how much he loves me. It may be odd. You can feel free to substitute bizarre, stupid, incredible, unacceptable for me. For me, to fear our love when we are so happy. Therein lies a huge part of the problem. I'll give you a quick personal example. Yeah. So this sister now is going through this year. For 5 years of her marriage, she was monogamous, and according to what I'm understanding now, is that yeah, she, after 5 years, maybe her husband got into a polygamous situation. So now she's explaining about it, and let's carry on. We've got another maybe 17 minutes, so and like I'm saying, yeah, I'm just a student of knowledge, sharing my knowledge with my audience, and you can learn something from it, even if it's not to do with polygyny. You're learning how to get closer to Allah. You're learning how to trust in Allah. You're learning how to wake up at night and pray, stuff like that. So there's so many things you can benefit from there. Okay, so let's carry on. Within a few days of recovering from the shock, I was stricken with a late night panic attack that caused me to shed some tears over the fact that we might not have kids, or the fact that I could go into a coma or some sort of paralysis, or just, die at any moment. My adorable 6 foot, 200-pound bear of a husband started to cry too. I had never seen him like this before. He was sobbing and holding me. And he said one thing that instantly brought me out of the sadness. He said, I don't want to live without you. Okay, so whether we're in a monogamous marriage or we're in a polygynous situation, we have to remember that we don't hate the one wife and we're taking another wife. No, you still have to let your wife know that you love her. Yeah, if you're taking a second spouse, it's not because you hate your wife. Yeah, you can give her just as much love. Okay, now for most women, I imagine they'd probably be pretty happy to hear the man of my dreams confess such deep, devoted love. You remember the letters that we were reading? I think it's Sister Aisha in her letter. She said that her husband told her he loved her. He even bought her a ring as well, a gold ring. But because of what he'd done, taken another wife, she was unhappy. She didn't want to know, but he meant it. He meant it. He bought her a gold ring. Why would you buy your wife a gold ring if you don't love her? Why would you tell her you love her if you don't love her? So really, when a man tells a woman, in his marriage that he loves her, he means it. And obviously in Islam you're not allowed to lie. You're not supposed to be lying to your wife unless under certain circumstances. And yeah, so for most women, I'd imagine they'd probably be pretty happy to hear the man of their dreams confess such devoted love. For me, however, as a woman who tries to serve Allah foremost, I was frightened by my husband's statement. Our first role in life is not to be wives and husbands, mothers and fathers, daughters and sons, or brothers and sisters. We are here to be Muslims, to worship Allah. Very good expression, this. Because first, we are Muslims above all. When we were born Muslim, born as Muslim. Then our parents made us whatever they made us. But when a child is born in Islam, the child is born Muslim. Yeah. So we're Muslims first, like the sister is saying. Then we are husbands. Then we are wives. Then we are mothers. Then we are daughters. Then we are sons. Then we are sisters. And we are brothers. One thing there we have to bear in mind. Okay, reminding you again that on Fridays, Friday afternoon, we have the tafsir of Quran, the exegesis of the Quran. Friday afternoons, Qatar time to 2 o'clock, and I have a scholar with me. She's from Pakistan, and she's the one who's going through it, and I'm just kind of like hosting the show, and whatever knowledge I have, I'm sharing with you as well. So remember, every Friday, 2 p.m. Qatar time, 4 p.m. Pakistan time, and also 11 p.m. UK time. I think it's 11 p.m. I don't know if time has changed now. But we're going through the last juz, juz of the Quran, the 30 juz of the Quran. So every Fridays, please remember to attend to that as well. And please subscribe, like, and share, and hit on the bell so on Fridays and Saturdays, when I do the shows, you will be notified. Okay, so we've got about let's say 8 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago, and we've got one last paragraph. We've got one last paragraph in this page before we move on to the next page, and I think I will end here. The relationships between us are vital, yes, but not the mainstay of our existence. We can be great Muslim mothers and wonderful Muslim wives, but we do not stop being Muslims as we are widows. If we are widows or orphans, no, no, no. She's saying here, no, I want my husband and myself to always remember that I'm just a loner, in this life, as he is in mine. Ultimately, we will be returned to the original owner. Now, you know that in Islam we believe that we're from Allah and to Him we will return. Every Muslim believes that, and every Muslim in any sort of calamity, instead of saying, "Oh, damn," or whatever, we belong to Allah, and to Him we shall return. This is our Muslim, and this is what she's reminding us now, that whatever happens, we will be returned to our original owner, which is Allah. Until that time, we have to try to earn His pleasure and His recommendations for the road trip of life. We seriously avoid accidents and running out of gas. When she said accident, she doesn't mean car accident or whatever. It's no, she's not talking about the car. She's talking about life. Yeah, that's it. Accidents of life. We are each at our own level of deen. I don't I don't even like to use the word level, as it implies that one is above the other. Another sister may never decide to accept polygyny for herself and her family. That does not make me above her and above her because I do, and certainly does not make her below me because she doesn't. Okay, so we're on the 50-minute mark, and like I said, I keep reminding you, we're going through the book from monogamy to polygyny, and me as a student of knowledge, it is my responsibility to share with my brothers and sisters what I know about Islam, what I've studied about Islam, and I hope you're benefiting from it in any way at all, whether it's to do with polygyny, whether you're in polygyny, whether you are thinking of doing it, whether you got friends who are in there and you don't understand it, you got misconceptions about it. Like the sister said in the beginning, that was one thing that was bothering her. I've had a lot of sisters who've questioned me about, oh, you Muslims are allowed to have four wives. Yes, we are allowed to, but that doesn't mean that every single Muslim has to have four wives. That if he's got enough the money, if he's a man that is a man, he's a leader, he's a man who can handle it, then fine. It's not made for just anybody. Yeah, so we have to understand that polygyny is not something for everybody. Although at the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him, most of them were polygynous, but because they were men. Today, you've got boys in men's bodies. You've got boys in men's clothing. Not talking about you, yeah, you're young. I know you're very young, but like, not talking about you, kind of thing. Like, yeah. I'm talking about inside. Yeah, inside, they're not real men. Yeah. Adriel's a colleague of mine, is very young. Alhamdulillah, he's a very nice guy. So yeah, don't mean anything against you personally. What I mean is, today in this world, you don't have proper men. Yeah, and to be able to get into polygyny, you have to be a man. You have to be a leader, one who can lead families, one who can lead them. Who can when he has children, he can lead his children. So one who. At the time when his wives need him, he's available. Yeah. Right, good. Okay, so anyway, we're going to end here. Okay, we're going to end on page 226. Okay, for those of you who have the book, and I will see you again on Friday afternoon, UK time, 11 a.m. Qatar time, it's 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Pakistani time. We're doing at the moment the tafsir, the exegesis of Juz Amma, which is the short surahs. For you, for those who are new to Islam, they need to learn. They need to learn. Yeah, they need to learn the small surahs. Then this is good for you. It's good for you to to learn these new surahs and what they mean. What they mean, what the surahs mean when it was revealed and stuff like that. And I have a scholar with me. She's from Pakistan, and she's going to be doing the bulk of the work, the bulk of the explanation as we go along. Yeah. So I'm just a student of knowledge. So anyway, I thank you all for having attended. Jazakallah khair, and especially my friend Adriel here. Hi to you. Yeah. So anyway, inshallah, I'll see you next week, and don't forget to pass it on, pass the news on. Fridays and Saturdays, both times, and we finish here, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.